If you are lacking some motivation to declutter, I'm going to share with you 10 creative ways that you can declutter that maybe you haven't tried before that can make decluttering feel a little bit more fun. Number one is consider just getting rid of one thing every single day. This would rid your home of 365 things every single year. Number two, do a 10-minute challenge. So you're setting a 10-minute alarm. You're walking through, I would choose a specific space, like one room or one general area, and you're just actively looking for things that no longer need to be in your home. You have 10 minutes and only a single task of focusing on just things that shouldn't be there and removing them from the space.
All right, it's the end of the night and I'm doing a 10-minute cleanup in my kids' playroom because it's just messy, and I was like, I'll give it 10 minutes. Anyways, I was putting the puzzle pieces back into this puzzle that I got my kids. It's 6 mini puzzles that spell 6 different words. And when I first got it, my 3-year-old loved it and played it a bunch. But now basically I'm noticing that every single night at the end of the night, this is strewn all over the floor. But I can't remember the last time I actually saw one of my kids actively play with this puzzle. One of my number one rules with toys is that the amount of time that is spent caring for them and cleaning them up needs to be less than the amount of time that my kids actually play with something. The toys that just get taken out and dumped and made a big mess are just not worth my time continually to pick up over and over again. Magnet tiles, me and my kids pick up magnet tiles every single night. Usually it's the one thing they do before they go to bed, but they play with them for literally hours, so these can stay out.
Number three, do a trash bag sweep. So this is kind of reminds me of, remember that grocery sweep game? Man, the 90s were great, but it was I used to watch it when I was sick. They would give some random person a grocery cart, and they weren't even in a real grocery store. It was just a fake grocery store, and they had to run through the grocery store and find random things. This is the thing, right? I didn't dream this up. It's the same idea. You're grabbing a trash bag and you're running through your house. You don't have to run. You can just walk. You are going through your house and you are filling up that trash bag. And if you're like, Callie, I can't fill a trash bag with stuff, you probably can. It can either be trash or it can be donation. That is up to you, but I guarantee you can find a trash bag full of stuff. Clothes that don't fit anymore, magazines you don't need, old mail, old paperwork. Do the 10-10-10 challenge. This is where you find 10 things to throw away, 10 things to donate, and 10 things to put back where they belong. And it doesn't have to be 10. You can make it 20 or 11 or whatever. I actually got this idea from the website Becoming Minimalist, and I think they call theirs the 12-12-12 challenge. I don't know why. Pick a number you like. I don't care. I like this one because lots of times stuff that we need to declutter, some of it does need to just get put away. Some of it is donation. Some of it is trash. Do one spot per day or one spot per week if that works for you. Make a list of some places that need to get decluttered in your home. Make them things that you can do in 20 to 25 minutes. I think it's really motivating specifically to choose a certain period of time. So you say for the next 14 days, I'm gonna declutter one space a day. The reason I like to choose a allotted amount of time is our brain sort of likes to have a start and end time. It makes us more motivated. It makes us more likely to complete if we know it's just a 14-day challenge or it's a 1-week challenge. So give yourself a set amount of time. Okay, next is to do a donation sweep. So it's sort of like the trash bag idea. I feel like an important part of doing a donation sweep is you need to be doing it when you know you're going to be passing the place where you usually donate, because I feel like when it comes to decluttering things that are for donation, it's really two parts. One part is collecting the stuff and saying, okay, I'm gonna donate this, and then the other part is actually getting it to the donation center, which is honestly usually the hardest part of the battle. I have two main places that I tend to donate, either the Goodwill or at my local dump. We do have two really great resources where you can donate kids' clothes as well as where you can donate gently used books. So if I'm going to the dump, I might look through my kids' books or even my bookshelf and see some books that maybe I don't need anymore, or I may take a second to go through my kids' clothes and see if there's stuff they outgrow. If I know I'm gonna go past the Goodwill, maybe now is a good time to do a quick look and see what sort of stuff has sort of been lingering around that I know I need to get out. A quick break to tell you about the sponsor for today's video, which is BetterHelp. I have talked a lot about the connection between decluttering our space and our just mental health and our mental well-being, and I find that using these decluttering tips can be one of those things that are really small wins but can make you feel a lot better. For me, decluttering my space every day, literally a little bit every day, is something that I do for my mental health to make me feel better. And honestly, the older I get, and especially in being a mom and just navigating motherhood with small kids, doing things that benefit my mental health are extremely important to me. I can't tell you the last time I was with a group of women and we didn't talk about our mental health. We didn't talk about our therapist and what we were talking to our therapist about and how much going to therapy has helped us. And so that's why I love sharing BetterHelp, because BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service that's 100% online. And so what I love about it and why I love being able to share it is because it's super accessible. I'm busy, and I know that one of the things that I will often neglect when I get busy is just like my health in general. I'll be like, I don't have time to get into a doctor's office. So I love that this kind of takes that aspect out of it, because you can do it on your own schedule from your own home. If you've never used BetterHelp before, the way that it works is you answer some questions online, and usually within about 48 hours, they will pair you with a licensed therapist that they think is the right match for you. And then, like I said, you can connect with that person however makes sense for you, at whatever time makes sense for you on your guys' schedule. So if BetterHelp sounds like the right match for you, then I will have a link in the description box down below. You can visit betterhelp.com/butfirstcoffee. That's better HELP/butfirstcoffee, or you can click the link that I have right in my description box down below. Listen to one podcast episode and declutter for the length of the podcast. Also, a shameless plug, but if you need a good podcast to listen to, you might not know that I am part of a podcast. I recently launched a podcast with 3 other moms who also live here in Connecticut. We talk about everything that you would talk about with your girlfriends if you're out at coffee or out at dinner or whatever. It is called Room for 4, and I will have a link to it down below. I love this one because personally, I like listening to podcasts, and lots of times I don't always have time to listen to a full one. So this gives you an opportunity to listen to a podcast that maybe you've been looking forward to. It gives you that start and end time that I talked about before, where our brain really likes a start and end time. It tends to keep us motivated to work well throughout the entire length of the process, and you get something decluttered. Next up is one of my personal favorites, and that is after you declutter the area that you want to do, you get yourself a little treat. Personally, my favorite little treat is I get myself some sort of to-go coffee. This is actually a coffee from a local donut shop, and it's an iced banana hazelnut coffee, which does not sound like it would be good, but it works somehow, and it is oddly addictive. And on the topic of donuts, your treat certainly could be delicious donuts. You guys, which one would you pick? Tell me in the comments which one you're gonna pick. We have a lemon, a cherry, a Boston cream, a chocolate, and I don't know what this other one is. Pumpkin, and a pumpkin. Anyways, the point of getting yourself a treat, it's like a little reward, right, for completing a project, but it needs to be something consumable. You can't reward yourself by getting stuff and bringing more stuff to your home. It kind of defeats the purpose. So something consumable for yourself. Take a before and after picture. Who doesn't love a good before and after? Like, anytime you are watching any type of reveal type show, the best part is the before and the after pictures. So give that to yourself. Take a before picture and then declutter the whole space for the after picture. I'll actually tell you from personal experience, because I sometimes will share before and afters in my videos, in my Instagram reels. It is so motivating to go the extra mile to declutter a tiny bit more or organize a little bit more when I know I'm gonna be taking the after picture and I want that like full effect. Next is to try the Waterfall Decluttering game. I have seen this all over social media. I'm honestly not totally sure where it started, but I think I've traced it back to the Minimalist. They're like a podcast and YouTube channel, but honestly don't quote me because I'm not sure where it really originated. But you are decluttering one thing on day 1, 2 things on day 2, three things on day 3, 4 things on day 4, and I think you get it, and you do it for the length of an entire month. All right, my friends, that does it. 10 creative decluttering ideas that maybe you have not tried to make decluttering feel a little bit more fun and creative. Just a different way to declutter. I think sometimes when we think about decluttering, we think of it being this like big monumental task, and we need to invite our friends over, and it needs to be like a whole Saturday event. But I love these because most of them are like 10 or 15 minutes. I think the longest one maybe would take you a half an hour, and it's just some fun and different creative ways to declutter your home and get stuff out that doesn't need to be there. As always, thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Remember to be kind to yourself and others, and I will see you all in my next video.